Hey, we're ready to continue on with Auburn. We'll ask Coach Pearl for a couple of general comments on the game. Then we'll take your questions just for the two student athletes, and then we'll excuse them back to the locker room and then finish up with Coach. Raise your hand when you have a question, and remember to identify yourself and the media outlet that you represent when you ask your question. Coach?
Well, I want to start out by congratulating Tennessee and their team and their coaching staff, their program for advancing to the championship game of our tournament. Tennessee's a great team. They play the right way, and they're worthy of defeating us. We have to do a better job defensively. The last time we played them, they scored 51 points. Tonight they scored 70. And in particular, we just fouled them too much. That's not a comment about the officiating. The officiating was fine. We fouled them too much. And they scored 37% of their points at the foul line. That's on us. And we didn't convert some inside shots and some free throws and some things like that you have to in order to win a close game. But our guys are great competitors. I'm very, very proud of them. And I believe that this team has, from start to finish, done enough to be the #1 overall seed in this tournament. Our resume is historically one of the strongest resumes in the history of college basketball with the number of quad one wins we've had. And certainly losing to Tennessee as a team ranked 5th or 6th in the country is not necessarily should knock us off that spot.
Questions for either of the student athletes? Raise your hand, and we'll get one of the remote mics to you. Start in the far back on the left.
For Johni, 3 of the last 4 you guys have dropped. Well, how do you try to erase that going into the NCAA tournament? What's the message to the team?
Well, now we're looking ahead to the March Madness, the tournament. The first 2 we dropped, we was looking forward to the SEC tournament. We let this one drop. It hurts, but we got to learn from it. We're going to watch film, and then we're going to try to, get better going into the March Madness.
Next question on the left side, third row.
Justin Ferguson, Auburn Observer. Dylan, they go on a run and they're up by double digits, and you guys fire right back. Just what was the key to kind of settling down and getting back in the game like y'all did?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to give glory to God and Jesus Christ, but just buying into the scouting report really. The bigs being up the line and helping the guards on floppy, and really just really just buying in at the end of the day. I think we got away from guarding in that scoring run. They got out in transition a lot, and so that run was on us, the one we gave up. And so we just kind of went back to what we know in the scouting report, and that's kind of how we got our run back.
Raise your hand. Other questions for either of the student athletes? Okay, let's go to the front row on the far left.
Dylan, I was just curious what happened there at the end when you limped off. I guess you were doing okay.
Just a cramp.
And for Johni, you played Tennessee now a few times. What stands out about them to you and how difficult they are to deal with?
They take pride in their defense. They make it hard to score. And, yeah, it's a great team.
Okay, next question right here on the front right.
Dylan, going into probably some of your last games as an Auburn Tiger, can you talk about what goals you have left? You won this tournament last year, obviously. You guys are in a strong position for the #1 overall seed. What's your message to your team about what to do this time around?
Just a heightened sense of urgency. My prayers and my thought is moving forward. I hope these 3 losses that we've had, the ones that we've lost, we gave these games away. No one really beat us. We beat ourselves. But just having a sense of urgency moving forward into the tournament, knowing that the next time, God forbid, that we lose a game, we're going home. There's no more team meal. There's no more, film. There's no more being a team. And so just having that sense of urgency to continue the season, prolong the season, so we can spend more time as a family, as a unit, because these are my brothers. These are people I love to be around every single day. And I want to play until April 7th just so I can get more time with my friends. Most importantly, obviously make history, But just a heightened sense of urgency. This is the greatest team I've ever been on, and I don't want these guys to take it for granted. So if boxing out, and if making free throws and making layups, if that's what's going to take to prolong our season, then just buy in and have a heightened sense of urgency.
Other questions? All right, far left.
Johni, you're obviously tight with Tahad. It's a tough game for him. How do you kind of come alongside him, make sure he keeps his head up for the postseason, since he's a freshman and he hadn't been through this before?
Tahad's a great player. He's a great teammate. He's a great friend. So just kind of give him words of encouragement. He's been amazing for us all year. He had a rough night tonight, which that's okay though, as his brother's supposed to have his back. So that's on us. But he's going to bounce back and get ready for March Madness.
Got time for one more question for either of the student athletes. Anyone? All right, we'll excuse you. You can return to the locker room. And we'll continue on with questions for Coach Pearl. If you'll raise your hand, we'll get one of the remote mics to you. Let's start in the way back on the left.
Coach, I asked Johni the same question. 3 of the last 4. Is this kind of a flush it, move forward? Is there panic at all? What do you look at with this?
Man, I'm really glad you asked me that question. We lost to Alabama, Tennessee, and at Texas A&M. Yeah, we're panicked. That's a real softball. We lost to some great teams. We lost the buzzer against Alabama. We had possessions here, so yeah, we're panicked. I can hardly wait till next weekend and start playing again. Just get me here. Let's get to Sunday. Let's find out where we're going. Let's find out who we're playing, and let's get back to work. I'm looking forward, not back.
Questions? Raise your hand. Let's go to the far back on the right.
Jerry Humphrey with AO.com. Bruce, it wasn't the strongest day at the free throw line. Kind of, what do you want to do better, in that category for the tournament?
In a close game, obviously it's important, and we've done a great job winning a lot of close games this year, and we've been really good at the foul line. Johni did a great job inside, just dominating inside, and earned those foul shots that he got. And obviously, he struggled at the free throw line. And then, Tennessee was playing drop coverage, and so we had our point guards, Denver and Tahad, were combined 1 for 10 from a 3, and most of them were decent looks. We're usually going to make those. Johni only had 1 assist. That's because we just didn't bang shots that we've normally made. Now, Tennessee's guards are elite. They're great guards, and they do a great job of closing out a little quicker. And that's back-to-back games where our guards, I think our guards were 5 for 20 against Tennessee and Auburn. We still managed to win. And tonight, obviously, we just didn't shoot a good percentage. I thought we'd shoot better. I thought we'd play better offensively than we did. And I knew we could not play much better defensively than we did at home, holding them to 51. But you hold them to 70, you still got a chance. So fouled them too much.
Okay, next question, front row on the right.
Coach Michael Giddens, for Auburn. You called your resume historically strong in your opening statement. How much do you think that tournament results should factor into this? Auburn won the whole thing last year and didn't move a seed line, but this year you feel like your body of work in the regular season was enough to do it?
Yeah, they talk about the body of work as much as anything. The wins we had all season long, the strength of the league, and we lost to a team that's fighting for a 1 seed. So obviously I'm very proud of the SEC. Just incredibly proud to be a part of this tournament, to be a part of this league. These 4 teams that have made it to the championship game on Saturday, I don't know that historically has there been 4 stronger teams as far as nationally ranked teams ever in the Final 4 of an SEC tournament. I can't imagine there is, not even close. And so and it means a lot to us. In other words, to me, and this is one of the things I've talked to the team about. If you're the number 1 overall seed, then basically you had the best regular season from November all the way to March, and we'd love to be able to hold on to that. We'll find out Sunday.
Next question, third row on the far left.
It's kind of two-parter here, but you guys only had 3 bench points. I know Tahad struggled, like I asked Johni. Just how much of an impact did you feel like that had on the game, just getting only that much from your bench? And like I asked Johni, just how do you keep his, confidence there? He's been a confident kid all season, but it's the first time he's kind of going through this.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'll roll with Tahad all day, every day, man. Roll with him all day, every day. And he's played great, one of the most impactful freshmen all college basketball. And, Tennessee's a tough cover, man. It's hard to cover those guards, and you get banged on those screens, and you're chasing those guards off that floppy stuff, and that's a lot. And then we really never just quite got into a rhythm for him. And, Miles Kelly being in deep foul trouble, that was a real factor in the second half, because Miles been one of our best defenders, and he was our best shooter, and he had 4 fouls and got his minute. He played probably 10 minutes less than he normally plays.
Next question, second row, and then we'll come to the first row on the same side.
Wes Rucker, 24/7 Sports. Bruce, I'm sure there's a chance you could play Tennessee again, so I'm sure you're not interested in giving away any sort of a scouting report. But generally speaking, where does Jordan Gainey fall in that? Because it seems like those games where he kind of goes off for 15, 16 plus, they win most of those games.
Yeah. He made 3 buckets, and he was 8 for 8 from the foul line. So it's hard to defend him at the free throw line. He's a great competitor. He's a coach's son. He's a warrior. And, I know he's got a great affection for the Tennessee Vols and really does a great job representing their program both on and off the floor. And, obviously their guards, Ziegler was 9 for 9. Meshack was, 6 for 8, and Gainey was 8 for 8. That's just, we just had a hard time not following their guards.
Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Bruce, you've talked before about Rick's teams playing the right way. I'm just curious to expand on what is that effort? Is that toughness? Is that schemes? What?
Well, I just think that it's character, it's culture, it's their faith, it's the way it's the men that are coaching them, the way they surround themselves with great coaches and great men. And I remember earlier in the year I talked about 2 or 3 of the games that I thought were some of the best games I've been involved in this year was at Houston, when we played Tennessee, Florida. In this sense, the games are physical because they're physical on offense. They're physical setting screens and they're physical defensively. But they play. When I say they play the right way, it's our guys. There's no issues. There's no extracurricular. You understand how they play. You respect how they play. They respect how we play. And that's from their head coach.
We'll take 1 or 2 more. Let's take one right here on the front row, and then we'll go right back to the middle on the right.
Michael Gibbs, Warport, Auburn. Coach, a big strength of your team has been your bench all season long. You didn't get much from your bench today. Can you talk about your rotations here and what you guys were seeing? I know Miles was in foul trouble early.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's benches. Our bench has been, terrific, and we play best when everybody contributes. It's kind of become clear. We almost had 7 starters in the sense that Tahad and Chaney coming off the bench are just like starters, and that's been a great, great strength for us all season long. And Chaney had a big game in Auburn against Tennessee, and so we probably offensively need to think about sharing a little bit more. We run through Johni pretty consistently, and may step back and see if we can spread out our scoring a little bit, and then that might make us even more dangerous and even better team.
All right, last question, center aisle.
Yeah, Bruce, David Cobb from CBS Sports. You guys saw Duke and Houston earlier this season. How do these other 3 teams that are here in the semis stack up with those guys amid this kind of race for the number 1 seed?
I mean, whether it be Houston or Duke, probably the 2 best teams outside of our league that we've played, and I put them right in there with Florida, Tennessee, Alabama. They're right there, and so there was 5 or 6 teams right there that got a chance to get to the Final Four.